So let's go ahead with branch and bound. So we had just discussed about Gomri cutting plane method. Now next method is branch and bound, we call it. It's more of a trial and error method. So what happens is, even here we start with a LP solution given, and we start with the solution of that LP problem. So here in the top block here, like if you look at the block here, maximize Z equals 8x1 plus 5x2 subject to x1 plus 2x2 is less than equal to 10, 5x1 plus 2x2 is less than equal to 20, and xi, this means x1 and x2 greater than equal to 0. This is the LP problem. If you solve this problem using any method, whether it is simplex or Excel or Lingo, you will get the solution like this. So why I have asked you to keep Lingo open is because each stage we want to demonstrate how this works. That's all is the purpose of putting Lingo. As I mentioned to you, because each time each solution is equivalent to solving a LP problem. So therefore, in exam nobody will ask you to follow branch and bound to solve a problem, because this becomes too cumbersome. You will see in this example that one problem is equivalent to solving 7 LP problems. So obviously it won't come in exam for writing the exam. But for understanding, it could be a part of conceptual note, or any conceptual question can be asked, but not solving. So now let us take this particular LP problem and let's go to Lingo. So let's copy this LP problem and see in Lingo whether we get the solution. That was the very purpose of asking you to keep Lingo open. So now it is, you can see my Lingo screen.
Yes,
or in
sir.
your Lingo screen you can type what I am doing here. So you have seen my, is it my Lingo screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Now the moment I hit on the bullseye, I will get the solution. Look at the solution here. Too many inequality or equality. Oh, so here you know what is the problem. In this Lingo syntax, I had left Z equals, that not required. So if you do this, now I have a solution here. Look at the value. X1 has got 38. Z has got 38.75. X1 is 2.5 and X2 is 3.75. So let's this one 3.75, 2.5 and 38.75. So this is nothing but the solution of this LP problem, which you can select using any method, Lingo, Excel, or whichever method you may like to follow, simplex. Once you have it, now again, as you see here, both the variables x1, x2 both has got fraction portion. Now you are going to choose one which has the largest fraction. So which is the largest fraction here?
Both.
No, which has the largest fraction, greatest value
3.75.
3.75. So around 3.75, we have two integers, one on the lower side, other on the upper side. So we'll develop two constraints. So there are two branches coming out. Branches means we have got two LP problem where the original problem is same, plus another constraint like one here and one here. And both of them will be solving separately. So one equation we have, one problem we have, you know, we will write two constraints because 3.75 is there, then greater than x2 greater than equal to 4 and x2 less than equal to 3. Lower side less than equal to, upper side greater than equal to, because we are expanding out. Therefore, it is written that way. So you have a new LP problem where one more constraint x2 is greater than equal to 4 we will add and solve that problem. So I am going back to go ahead.
But if there is a case in which x1, x2 have same fraction value,
then you can choose any. Whenever you have tie, you can take any.
Okay.
I mentioned to you in the course, whenever you have tie, break it as per your will actually. Nothing, I mean, there's no prescription that way. So let's go back and here, close the solution window. We have to add one more constraint here, x2 greater than equal to 4. Is that right? Okay? I have just added one more constraint. Now if you solve it by hitting the bullseye, you get a solution. And what is the solution? Objective function is 36, which is the integer value. X1 is equal to 2 and X2 equal to 4. That is what we are putting here. X1 2, X2 4 and objective function 36. And I have put in green color because this is an integer solution. This is an integer solution. That's why I have put in green color. But we are not sure that this is the best value. As I mentioned to you, so we will explore the other values. And the moment we get a lower value than this, we will stop it. Or if we get a higher integer value, we will accept that one as a solution. So here, this is integer. So I am putting it in a green color and keeping it aside. Beyond that, this branch I am not going to do anything, because in this branch I have already achieved the integer solution. Okay, got it? Hello guys.
Yes, sir.
Now let us take this one. Instead of x2 4, we replace x2 equal to 4 in our lingo with a new constraint. X2 is less than or equal to 3. So here let's close the window, and here we will write less than or equal to 3 and solve this particular problem. If you solve this problem, you get a solution. 37.4 is the value, and x1 is 2.8 and x2 is 3. So this is what we are getting the solution. x2 is 3, x1 is 2.8, and z is 37.4. Now, since z value is higher than 36, we need to expand this branch. So what we'll do, again we are looking for which variable has got fraction. So which has got the largest fraction in variables? At this stage, which has got the largest fraction?
2.8.
2.8. So we'll develop two constraints. One will be less than x1 less than 2, other will be x1 greater than 3. Is that right? So since value is 2.8, next page we do two constraints here. x1 is less than or equal to 2 and x1 is greater than or equal to 3, and solve both the equations. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, if we put is x2 less than equal to 3 and the z value is less than 36, then we stop there.
Then we are done. Because already we have a z value which is higher than integer. Since we got a lower value, then we have to stop. So we are going to repeat that till we get a lower value or better value. So it's just a logical explanation. Now, since 2.8, we got x1 less than 2 and x1 greater than 3. So let's try solving this first. Or let us try solving less than or equal to 2 first. Okay. If you go and put x1 less than or equal to 2 in the next constraint here, we put another constant x1 less than or equal to 2, you will get, let's look at what solution you get. You got a solution which is 31. You got an integer solution, but that is 31. Okay. So see here, 31 solution. Now this 31 is lower than 36. So we are not going to work on this branch, and this D branch we are going to stop. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll replace x1 less than or equal to 2 with x1 greater than or equal to 3, because let us explore this branch. So we go back here, and here we change this to greater than equal to 3. And once you hit the bullseye, you will get a solution 36.5, 3 and 2.5. So here this is what it is, 36.5, 3 and 2.5. So should we stop here?
No, sir.
Because our previous value is 36, isn't it? So what are the constraints here? x2, only one decimal is x2. So two constraint, x2 less than or equal to 2 and x2 greater than or equal to 3. So let us do with x2 greater than or equal to 3 first. 2 greater than or equal to 3. Now let's solve this particular equation and see. Now there is an infeasible solution. The solution is infeasible. You see here, no feasible solution found. This means this particular branch becomes infeasible. This becomes infeasible. Okay. So now we replace x2 greater than or equal to 3 with x2 less than or equal to 2 and try solving it again.
Sir, you have given two values of x2.
Sorry, oh, doesn't matter. These are different equations, though. You can always have. So let's see now. That is not an issue, because that is the way we are building. See, it's a chain of, so the same chain we are following. The chain which we have been expanding, we are going to add constraint in the same chain. So that is perfect, no difficulty. Now here we got a solution, but 5.6 is the solution and 3.2 and 2 is the value. So when you look here, 35.6 solution 2 and 2. So should we expand further?
No, sir.
Because we already have 36. So we stop here, and our best solution becomes the previous slide, x1 equals 2, x2 equals 4 and z equals 36. That is what is branch and bound method. So branch and bound, just to sum up, we take a LP problem and slowly we go on expanding by adding new constraints. And for doing that, what we do is we choose out of the variables which has got the largest fraction portion. Then we develop two constraints around that, one at the lower end, that variable less than equal to, other at the upper end greater than equal to, and go on expanding and solving by adding these constraints to the previous LP problem till the time we achieve a integer solution. And that is what is called branch and bound. So I hope you all have understood this method. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.